What if a single man infiltrated an anarchist organization just to realize nothing is as it seems? Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Today we are doing a book review of a book that made my top 15 of 2024. That is The Man Who Was Thursday by G.K. Chesterton. And what I just said in the intro, that's pretty much the premise of this book. This is a surreal, philosophical, satirical, layered work. I've actually seen it be referenced as the Alice of Wonderland for adults because it's so trippy in some points. Like, it's a short read in length, but it is deep, it's layered, it raises those deeper questions. There's like an undertone of anarchy and nihilism, and you have a single character who is trying to infiltrate this anarchist organization, and it's so layered and it's so ironic, and the humor is like dry. So there's a lot of dry humor, but it's brilliant. Like, this is the first book I've ever read from G.K. Chesterton, and he's actually known by many as the Prince of Paradox because of how he uses paradoxes in his books. And I was blown away because when I first opened it up, I didn't expect to have to like think that intellectually. I don't know what I expected. This was actually recommended by somebody that I used to work with. And then he said like, oh, it's the best. I think he said like, he said it's his favorite book, but he also said it was like the most funny book he's ever read. So I guess when I went into it, I was thinking like, this is going to be hilarious. And it's funny, but not in that way. It's kind of like a dry humor, sarcastic, like, I gotcha, kind of funny. So I don't know. But yeah, let's just jump into what this book is about. This book was published in 1908 by G.K. Chesterton. He is well known. He's known to be a prolific writer, known to be a Christian apologist, an essayist. And he's once again known for his paradoxical thinking. So when you go into it, don't be like me and just jump in thinking it's about to be like, ha ha ha, funny, because it's not. I was pleasantly surprised, but yeah. And this was written during a time in Europe where there was a lot of talk around anarchy, stuff like that. And this book dives right into it. I mean, like, from the very first page is the chapter 1 is called The Two Poets of Saffron Park. And you just kind of see how the story unfolds. And then what you think you know while you're reading, the more you read it, the more you start to question what's actually going on in this book. And then you get to the end and you like, what? Like, I think I know what happened, but I don't think I know what happened. Then you questioning the reality that you thought when you read the book. Prince of Paradox is correct, okay? Because I was like, huh? So this book has like a really nice blend of detective fiction. You're trying to solve this mystery alongside the main character of this book. But not only that, you're trying to solve the same mystery that the main character is solving, but you're also solving the mystery of the book itself from the author. So I felt myself trying to solve two mysteries at the same time. I'm trying to solve what he's solving in the book, but I'm also trying to see, what is this author trying to say right now? Like, who are these people representing and what is this? And it almost at the end, it comes to a point where they don't really meet like they do and they don't. But I was still kind of unsure of what that even meant at the end of the book. Very enjoyable, but you have a theory, but it's not like set in stone. And I believe that's the true genius of it because it can kind of go multiple directions based on how you perceived what was in this book. Anyways, the main character, Gabriel, is he's a poet and he's going undercover to infiltrate this anarchy organization. Things spiral out of control. He almost gets bested to some degree, but then you're like, did he? Yeah, he did. No, he did. Yes, he did. No, he did. And you're going back and forth between that. he meets this other man who plays a significant role in this book, hence the two poets in the park. And you kind of see how their paths diverge, how they come back together, how they overlap, and what that means for the book. So in this anarchist organization, you see the book is called The Man Who Was Thursday. There is members of this group, and each member is named after a day of the week. And when Gabriel tries to infiltrate it, he starts questioning his reality, his identity, all of the events that's taking place. And you just see it's like I don't want to give away too much of the book because you just have to read it to see how things kind of spiral out of control and what that means for the book and then what the author is trying to portray as well. But yeah, like I said, there are some comedic parts in there, but they're more satire. It's more sarcastic. So these, like I said, this group, this anarchy group, they have council meetings. And the council meetings are, what's said is ironic. The way that they take place and what they uphold is ironic. He's also kind of sort of poking fun at it, where you can kind of see it's like I said, like a gotcha. I feel like that's kind of what this book was in so many ways. I caught you up on your own words. Like, that's what you said. I'm going to hold you to it, but you don't realize I'm playing this mind game with you. And I won type deal. So some major themes of this book is chaos versus order, anarchy versus nihilism, morality versus non-morality, conformity versus non-conformity, your self-identity versus outside influences and what they identify you as. So what you're perceived as versus what you perceive yourself as, faith versus doubt. And then, like I said, you got the underlying Christian theme. And this book is full of so much symbolism. Like you can just dissect so many parts of it, from there being 7 days of the week and each day having its own distinct personality or purpose, kind of like the days of creation. You think about what the days represent and who the figures represent, who might represent God in that situation, who might represent you, who might represent, whoever. You kind of think about the order of things in that way. When you think about the society, the secret society, and then the above ground society and what that means, this thing that they're trying to stop, this crime this crime that they're trying to stop, what is that symbolic of? You know what I mean? Which leads me to think about how that's relevant today, how that parallels with today's society, what we're dealing with right now, the political landscape, social media, educating our kids, so many different things that's made me think about in this book. And the thing is, it's short, but it's so impactful. It was so good. And I read this in 2024 and I'm still thinking about it. It's so good. It's so good. So let me go over some things that I liked. I liked the way that this book was organized. I like the pacing of it and the tone as well. I like how they kind of blended humor with philosophical, heavy philosophical questions. I like how the story was shaped, how you kind of jumped into it, and before you realize that you're questioning what you read and what it meant. I thought that was pretty clever, the way that the whole story was put together, and how it ended was clever as well. One thing I didn't like as much, there was one scene that was so chaotic, and I know it's intentional. When I was reading it, I said I liked the pacing of it. It was one portion that was so fast-paced and so chaotic, but that was intentional. It was supposed to set the scene because what was being written about was extremely chaotic. But at times it came across a little confusing to me, where I had to back up and kind of take my time to read through it. Not a problem, but I kind of got lost in that one scene where I'm like, wait a minute, what? Had to go back and see who was doing what and why. So that was my only gripe, was that one part where it's this massive it's towards the end of the book, this massive like peak where the book is coming to a peak. And I was just like, huh? I had to kind of back up and reread it because it was kind of confusing how fast things picked up and just how many moving parts there were. That was my only thing that I didn't like. And even that is not really a big deal. Yeah, so it's considered a classic, and I can see why. It's like the perfect blend of allegory and metaphysical fiction and detective work and philosophical writing. And if you want those heavy hitting, like faith based themes it's so good. I feel like it mixes so many different things, and a lot of people can't do that. A lot of books, these are like all over the spectrum, all of these themes, and it came together seamlessly. That's hard to do, in my opinion. Like humor with all of this stuff, like that's, to me, that was a tough feat, and he delivered in this book. So yeah, that's it, y'all. I really enjoyed this. If you haven't read this, consider checking it out. It's not that long. Let me see. It's 110 pages. Like, it's not that long, but it's worth it. And if you read anything else from G.K. Chesterton, let me know, because I'll probably be reading some more of his books because I enjoyed this one that much. That's it, y'all. See you on the next one.